I asked AI, what if Native Americans fought back and became a superpower? Trove visuals, storm clouds rolling over an untouched American landscape. An eagle soars, tribal drums echo in the distance. Yuba, history tells us one story. But what if there was another? What if the Native American nations didn't fall to colonization? What if they fought back? What if they overcame disease, united their tribes, and rose to become the most powerful civilization on Earth? I asked AI to simulate this alternate timeline. What it showed me was breathtaking. A world where the united tribes of Turtle Island shaped the modern era and changed everything. Scene transitions into vast forests alive with ancient cities, not in ruins, but thriving with light and motion. In this timeline, disease still came with the first settlers, but native healers were ready. They had already studied the changing patterns of life. Plant medicine, isolation rituals, and ancestral science allowed them to slow the spread. Villages survived, nations endured, and with survival came unity. The Iroquois Confederacy became a beacon, the Lakota joined. So did the Creek, Hopi, and the Mississippian descendants. They formed the Great Sky Council, a political alliance guided by wisdom, vision quests, and a shared vow. Never again shall our land be taken. Visuals shift to the 1600s. Waves of settlers arrive, but are met by fortified cities and armed diplomacy. When the next wave of European settlers came, they expected easy conquest. But what they found were trained warriors, fortified borders, and technology blended with nature. Gunpowder had been reverse engineered, muskets fused with obsidian. Warfare was swift, tactical, and unlike anything Europe had ever seen. Instead of colonies, they signed treaties. Instead of conquest, they traded knowledge on native terms. I'll cut to great council fires, maps marked with tribal empires stretching across the continent. By the 1700s, the tribes weren't resisting Western expansion. They were expanding themselves. The Great Lakes region became a center of innovation. Trade routes turned into solar-guided highways. Cities grew not from steel, but from grown architecture, trees woven into buildings powered by wind and light. Instead of industrial smoke, they had sky gardens and floating spirit archives. AI, energy production, sustainable air quality, global gold standard. Global influence dominant by 1830. The shift to Europe fractured, worn by internal wars. Meanwhile, Turtle Island advances into the air. While Europe waged war on itself, Turtle Island turned its eyes to the stars. Led by the Code Shamans and the Pathfinders Guild, they launched the first biosynchronized satellite into orbit in 1892, encoded with stories, songs, and messages to the universe. They didn't race to space, they danced there. Live fast forward, Earth in 2025 covered in harmony. Sky cities float, oceans clean. Peaceful AI coexists with human tradition. In this world, cities don't tower. They grow. AI isn't feared, it's sung to life. Crime is rare, not because of punishment, but because balance is sacred. There are no presidents, only elders and wisdom keepers elected through story, service, and spiritual clarity. And the Earth is alive again. Zoom out, Earth rotating. One timeline glowing in peace, the other, ours, blinking with chaos. And then the AI asked me something. What if this was the world that was meant to be? What if our timeline was the mistake? Long pause. Let the question hang. Maybe this isn't just a what if. Maybe it's a message, a reminder of a future we could still reach. If we listen, remember, and choose differently. Beat. To camera. If this timeline moved you, like, subscribe, and share for more AI-simulated realities, alternate histories, and futures we might still create. Because sometimes the most powerful stories aren't the ones we're told, they're the ones we remember.